guys, it's been a long time. I've been going back and forth with if I wanted to do the YouTube thing again. It's been a couple years since I've tried it, but I've decided this is kind of the perfect time. I'm laid off because all this coronavirus stuff, that really get back into it. You've missed a lot. We're going to talk about, the new car in the fleet, which is going to be Taylor's drift car for this year. We got rid of the Z. I still got the 8.6, and I'm doing something very special engine-wise with that. With a couple new partners, which is really cool. We're starting a drift team. That's why the channel went from Garage 86, which was kind of my personal thing, to Bad Vibes. That's our new drift team that I'm kind of starting. But Taylor's car, she now is going to be driving a Mark III Supra, and I'm super excited about it. We just did the Fortunato coilovers. She's running the same coilovers I'm running as in the Corolla. It's already got the coilovers. We just did a little refreshing of valve cover gaskets, intake gaskets, stuff like that, because the 7M was leaky. But that's going to be a fun one. So let's take a quick look at the cars, and we'll take a look at the engine, and we'll start there. Alright, this is the Mark III. Super clean. Again, Taylor's drift car for this year. We did the coilovers, we got our wheels on it. Still got to do the angle kit in a bunch, you'll see all that. This is the Corolla. Tried and true, you guys know this one. No engine. No engine, but I kind of toiled with a bunch of different options what to do. Don't mind this, everything's messy in here, of course. We decided to stick with the 4AG. It was the simplest way to do things, the cheapest, even though I've kind of gone a little overboard for this year's. And so here she is. I would get some more light in here. So we went down a size on the turbo. We're going fuel injection this year. Done with the carbs. Bottom end is all new. If you can see it all, we got the MRP baffled sump. That was really expensive, but definitely worth it. So the setup. We've got, for the bottom end, a set of MRP forged rods with a set of 4AG ZE pistons, brand new from Toyota. Those are good for like 600 horsepower. They're forged, they're coated, so it's got all the good stuff. We're rocking a T28 this year instead of the T4 that I was running from CX Racing, which fit like shit. I definitely wouldn't recommend that company if you're running a turbo, so I kind of pieced together my own. We got just like a V-band flange here. I got to make an exhaust. Just eBay cast iron turbo manifold. Max speeding rods provided this nice T28. So that's cool. Very basic setup. Small port head with some big port cams. It's kind of a somewhat typical combo. Big port cams are just slightly different than the small ports. And it's what I had lying around. We are running, obviously, fuel rail. I just gotta figure out a few things. This nice piece is some Chase bays. I did a whole Chase bays fuel line kit. So right now I'm just kind of seeing how everything's gonna fit, where I'm going to put it. I'm gonna do it a little bit differently than what they do, but it looks really nice. Nice inline fuel filter. Just gotta make it work with my fuel cell. But Chase bays fuel line kit was nice. It's like $300. It eliminates all your hard lines, makes it all -6, so that's cool. So I've overcomplicated the bottom end, but I did that to make it reliable, because it's gonna, it's gonna go on the dyno. It's gonna make whatever power it makes, and I know that the bottom end will handle it, and it will handle any more that I will want to put on top of that in the future. That's why I did that. So this little teeny setup is gonna control my fuel and ignition this year. So I'm running the micro squirt. This thing is super compact, and that's why I like it. I'm actually going to run this in conjunction with my MSD that I'm currently running. It's actually, I guess, pretty simple to do, so that's going to be the easiest way to do it. Universal harness, just the one plug. Got everything I need here, and honestly, more than half of these I'm not going to use. So just tie them up. Let's get to work on the Supra. Right now we're actually going to do the angle kit. So this is basically the angle kit for the Supra. It's going to be a bolt-on. Just got to do some stuff with the dust shield. It pretty much bolts to the bottom like this of your OEM knuckle. Brings the tie rod pickup here, and then this will go where it originally used to be. So it's pretty much like shortening the knuckle. So let's get started. Got the rotor off, calipers tied away. This is the nut we have to get to, the bolt I should say, here. The only way to get to it, we have to cut a little bit of this. If I can find some tin snips, that'll be nice and easy. We also have to cut this little tab for the brake vent, or just bend it completely out of the way. But there's the back side right there, if you can see that. That's where we need to put the new bolt. So just gonna kind of brainstorm how I'm gonna do this to make it look nice and clean. I was gonna take the whole dust shield off, but it's gonna be an even bigger project. So let's see what the hell we can do with this. I do have the knuckle adapter on, the outer tie rod here, which is actually just gonna come off in a moment. This is basically what it looks like. It uses that bolt hole here, which I was actually able to not cut anything. I just bent it a little bit, threw an open end on there. It came out pretty easy, which I was really lucky, because in the video on the website that sells this, they put a couple cuts here, cut some of this crap out. I was able to get where the brakes bent. You can see these holes. There was a big flap here where this now would interfere in it, so I was able to get that off. That's really all I had to remove. Now it's just a matter of getting the OEM outer tie rod off, which is this guy here. We do have rack spacers too, but we'll do that at a later date, because this dust boot's being a bitch, and I want to keep as much things factory on here as I can without having to cut anything up. So I'm just going to take this outer tie rod off, slip this guy on, and see what it looks like. I'm also going to adjust the OEM bump stop right there to make sure we get as much angle as possible out of this kit. Sorry, it's not blinding you, but yeah, we'll catch up after I get that on. So that was a battle. We got the tie rod inner taken apart. Now this is what the angle kit pretty much is. On the outside you see it just moves the new tie rod to a more inboard spot for more angle. This bolts to where the OEM tie rod went, so you don't have to modify the knuckle. Then they also come with rack spacers, so which goes like that, lets it go into the rack just a little further than what it would normally stop at, which is that flat ridge. So we're gonna reinstall this, put the outer tie rod on, see how it looks. So this side is done for the most part. Obviously we still gotta do an actual alignment on it. Obviously while we're in here, this car has been sitting for 8 years. The old rotors, well, they still got plenty of life on them, definitely need to be resurfaced. Might as well do the brakes while we're in here. Also, we do have to kind of bend some things out of the way, because we had to bend this dust shield quite a bit. As you can hear, it's just barely rubbing, so got to do a little clearancing and throw the wheel on, see how it looks. On the ground, we got a little bit of toe out, so I wasn't too far off on the alignment. This side obviously is straight, so no angle kit on this side. Just finished the angle on this side, so it won't be its full potential. Also, we're going to do this manual steering really quick. But let's at least go to full lock and see what it's like. we go full lock, and it actually comes back just a little, so this isn't full angle. That's not terrible. Like I said, we're not at full. It could go a few degrees more because the steering wheel kind of bounces back and lets you roll forward. But now we see we're not hitting anything. We're actually right next to the control arm. We're gonna have to reinstall the bump stop screw. Without the rack spacer on the other side, we actually still have a lot more angle to get. Whew. But this is promising. We're actually going to get a lot more than this, so that's going to be cool. We'll need to get a wheel spacer to get the most potential out of it. So, all right, we'll do the other side and see where we land. Okay, passenger side was an absolute battle. Whew, got it out. Unfortunately, ripped this boot, so eventually we need to replace the inner tie rod, but at least it's out. The thing that made it difficult is this stupid bracket. So the Mark III Supra has a steering damper for reasons unknown. Taylor really did not want me to cut this bracket to get it out when this hits the subframe. I found a slightly different way to do it, kind of just on accident, than what all of the internet says. So for anyone doing a Mark III Supra angle kit, they got to remove the inner tie rod. You break it loose first and foremost. That was a challenge. If you want to keep the steering damper like we're doing, at least to start with, you take the steering rack bushing out on the passenger side. Then you can drop, just by pushing down on the outer tie rod, you can drop it just enough, just push down on it enough to clear the subframe and then loosen it. So now what we're going to do is get this outer tie rod off, and then we can finally finish the angle kit, move on to other things with the Supra. So let's get this over with. Okay, angle kit is officially done. Not 100%, so I don't want to end the video just yet. We got the other side done. That was a complete nightmare. I'm just sitting in here. I was just looking at lock to lock. It's still not enough. We did take the bump stop screws out, but now we have to actually just cut the physical little bump stop tab that's on the lower control arm off, and that will be full angle. So we'll do that. We'll see exactly what it looks like. We'll go from there. Rev it again. Okay guys, the angle kit is done. Taylor's taking it for a quick test drive with the coilovers. This will be the first drive with the coilovers. If you feel anything weird or hear any noises, we'll stop. Make sure to test the brakes a little bit. Alright guys, so the angle kit's done. Coilover's done, everything's tightened up. Took it for a little test drive, everything feels okay. Definitely need to do a little alignment on it, but other than that, it's pretty much ready. We have to still cut the bump stops off of her control arms, but that's nothing that we need to really include in this video. So we got to do that. Exhaust is all finished. I didn't really film that because it came in kind of in the middle of doing everything, and I didn't want to make two separate videos or make this one too long, so we threw that on really quick. It only took a little bit. So she's ready. Just harness bar, harnesses, some interior stuff, and she'll be good to go. And then we can move on to the 8.6, which in the next video we're going to be putting the engine in the 8.6, sorting out the fuel lines, stuff like that. So stay tuned. Thank you for watching. After these couple of videos of getting the cars ready for drifting, it's mainly going to be drift videos, not so much of actual wrenching videos. So bear with me while we get up to speed and this crazy season will finally get underway. We can do some drifting. So thank you. See you in the next one.